We're going to talk about the Oera book, and we're going to zero in on a two-part word. First part is tau, and the second part is nomera, and we are going to expand that to say tally numeral system. And now I am going to show the tally numeral system. And just like it's written in the Oera, on the left is the tally system, and on the right is the numerical system. The tally is marking that the core gist and meaning and definition of the word tally. The word tale we use in America, spelled T-A-L-E, means to tell all. Whether it be numbers or words, whether it be a story or a tale to tell. And another meaning of tally is to touch all. The T is a touching voiceless sound, especially if you put your teeth together and you blow the air, shh. And then when you stop the airflow, you get a silent shh. And then when you release your tongue, while the air pressure is still there, you get tch. And I can go 3 seconds of air, 3 seconds of silent, and 3 seconds after making the T sound. Here we go. In the Italian system, you're touching everything one by one. I will now show where the tally system comes from. You use your fingers to touch things. You know, if I touch this desk, you know I'm touching it because you hear it. Those who are familiar with drumming, they know I'm doing 4 fingers. See? And you got, and the tally is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. If you put your teeth together, when you make that T sound, notice there's a line, vertical line, then there's a cross line. That's the tally. And a modern day terminology used to describe that voiceless sound. Let's see if I can get it all right. The voiceless dental alveolar plosive. Some of you may already be familiar with that. And the only way to get that sound, you have to touch the back of your tongue against the back of your teeth, and your teeth are closed together. You cannot make that sound with your vocal cord. That's impossible. And to those of you who understand the art of sounds called linguistic, you'll know what I'm talking about. The letter A, I'll just do that right there. There's the A. One of the core meanings, notice I said one of, but there are many core meanings of that letter that we call A. Alpha in Greek, Aleph in Hebrew, and then in America it's just simply called A. And saying A is not quite right because A is 2. A is A, and then the E. when you say ah, and then you say e, and you put ah, e together, you get a. Because awareness is open. Ah, like your ear, like the word audio begins with audio for a reason, because your ear is always open. You can't close your ears. So you emulate that sound, especially when you go to the dentist and the dentist says, say ah, that means open up. You get your tongue out of the way and you just, let's see if I can just songize that sound. Ah. And the only thing I'm controlling there is the vocal cord. So whereas the tip of your tongue makes that, you get your tongue out of the way and activate your vocal cord, you have ah, and one of the meanings of ah is the silence before the sound. And my ear is an audio device. Is there a silence? The ears don't make a sound. But you got to have that silent ear that goes before the sound you hear. So your audio ears pick up audio sounds. Another A shape is, this one's really good for awareness, is this is your focal point. If you used to concentrating and thinking really hard, you should get some wrinkles there. And then you have a point. Now there's an A right there. And we call this the nasal. See, has an A in there for a reason. You might say, well, what's that N for? Well, only the nasal can make the N sound. Let's do it. Ah, na, na. See? And one of the meanings of the na is a movement in a narrow passageway. Is not your nasal passageway narrow? It goes in your nose when you breathe in, and then the sound comes out. Now the sound coming out of my mouth right now, if I go, oh, now I'm not going to change my vocal cord at all. I'm going to keep it going full blast. And then I'm going to I'm going to leave my mouth open when I do this one. And use my tongue at the top of the mouth. And watch what happens. And catch my breath here. Oh, no. So, instead of just saying nasal, I go nasal. Nasal. That means that the sound, when I make that it's coming out my nasal only. And that's why the word nose begins with N. That's why nozzle. And there's many words that properly define the original narrative and the original thought of the N is associated with a narrow passageway. Not necessarily only associated with a narrow passageway. There are other parallels and metaphors, and when properly understood with the original thought and associating the primitive action of our nose and mouth now, does not contradict the movement in the narrow passageway. It can also be simply talking about the canal or the sound that goes in the canal. No, the canal has N in it. Canal. And then sound has N in it. Sound. Well, the sound goes in the canal of the inner ear and sends a signal to the brain And usually when the N is at the end of the word, it means something going into. Such as through the nasal when we sleep at night. When the nasal is always open. Remember, ah is always open. Remember I said that before. Ah, your nasal is always open. Ear, ah is always open. Your brain, whether asleep or awake, is still working. And your brain takes in that information. That's mental. Your lung takes in oxygen going through your nasal, in oxygen. Exhale carbon. Something going into the N. And it always means to change. One of the meanings of N is, let me explain how we can know that there's an instant chain. Instant has N in it. Let me show you an instant chain. We're going to go from an open mouth and instantly go, the sound's going to come out the open mouth, and instantly the sound's going to come out the nasal after we seal off the mouth. See? See how instant it is? Let me show you how instant it is. Ah, ah, ah. See? It's instant, just like that. There's another nasal instead of just using your tongue, get your tongue completely out of the way. Here's another nasal. You don't use your tongue. To those of you who are really good with linguistics, you already know this one. See? So the mouth is open. Instantly you close your mouth, but your vocal cord is still going. So it redirects the sound and changes from your mouth to your nasal. See? Okay, now let's get back to the tally. T is the touching. Notice that word touch. And you can only make that sound with the tip of your tongue. You cannot make it any other way. Without your tongue, you can try to make a T all you want to. I don't know anybody who can make a T without the tongue, except the tip of your finger. Or, you know, that's a tap. Hey, tap begins with a T for a reason, see? And P begins, and P is a pop pop sound. And P is also a voiceless, alveolar plosive. You start air pressure, you blow air out your mouth, stop it, and then you blow it, and then you pop it up. See? That's voiceless. Cannot be made with a voice or the vocal cord. So, another place you can find that shape, that A shape, other than there, in order to make it with a finger. If you look at the ears of a wolf, shaped like that, shaped like a lady told me once, it's the perfect A. And I'll list a few definitions and meanings of the original narrative, original thought of a few words. I don't have an outline here. I should have turned my talking outline on a computer, and I can stop and go, and it can give me these words, because there's a lot of words. But let's just start with aware, always aware, is not the A-shaped ear of the wolf, always aware. We have 3 little miniature wolves in our house named Arrows, I'm getting it in order, Mocha and Tuffy. There you go. So anyway, they have a perfect shape A ear. And they are perfect alarm. It can all be quiet at night. All peaceful. Everybody to sleep. But if a stranger walks up in our yard, wow, 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 they got really good ears. And they'll start barking like crazy. Another one is attention. Remember, like I said before, you cannot close the A found in nature. A is awareness. And it's always on. And I cannot turn my ears off. I cannot turn my nose off. The wolf cannot turn their ear off. Neither can they turn off their A-shaped face. When a wolf howls and they lift their head back, if you're behind the wolf, you'll see that they're pointing up to heaven when they howl, and they're A-shaped, and the ears are folding back a little. The same thing happens on a ankh. Aleph in Hebrew is the shape of the ankh. If you look at ancient pictograph, you'll see the picture of an ankh. Now, A will be upside down like this, and there'll be a line across. Well, that's when the ox is eating, and two little points sticking back a horn. Now, if you flip it over, if you're a cowboy or a rodeo man, and you ride that bull, well, you're looking at the top of the ox, then you see that A, and then the horns and the ears, so to speak. And it's not the bull. Always alert. Oh yeah. A bull is really protective of their mate. The cow, they're very defensive. And it's not good to go in a ring with a bull if you're not familiar with their behavior. If you make a mistake, woo, that bull will come in, buck you. Now, another meaning of Aleph is power, is the beginning of that first power in the universe. So you can think of the universe and all the creation beginning with a silent, then there's an awareness, and that is a powerful thing. Okay, so I'm trying to think of another word. Angle. That's a good one, because the wolf, when they hear, they can point the right angle. And another thing that the wolf has is an excellent nose. Remember, I pointed the A shape out already. And the nose is never asleep. It's always awake, always alert. Always, 24/7, their nose is working. Their ear is on all the time. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it so you'll never forget it. In the natural world, the alpha, the Allah, is never asleep. It's silent. Remember that. I'm repeating this on purpose because I don't want people to forget. The ear is silent. The nose is silent. The nose can't make a sound. Sound can travel through the nasal, but the nasal can't make that sound. It can manipulate. And the same thing with the wolf. Their nose is always, I'm repeating myself, I'm doing it on purpose, because I don't want people to miss out on this, because it might fly over your head. The nose is always on, ears always on. Next, we got the L. One of the meanings of L is, if you, to get the L sound, or the all sound, you start your voice in the back. Ah. Then you take your tongue and touch your back teeth. And you roll your tongue forward till your tongue touches the back of the top teeth. Let's try it. Oil. Oil. Now go fast. Ow. Slow. Or slow it way down. La. Notice the rolling is the owl, and then when the tongue leaves the plateau, la. What do you think we say lob a ball? Because something's leaving our hand. Lob, and that's a silent. Without the vocal cord, no one can hear the bending of the tongue. I'll do it right now. Without my vocal cord, see if you can hear it. Now I activate my voice cord again. All. all. And notice your tongue touching all your teeth. Where do you think that word all comes from? You got the left rank. You got file and rank of your teeth. You got the left. You got the right. And if you are healthy and got perfect teeth, your tongue should be touching all 16 teeth. Isn't that amazing? And now, to those of you whose imagination has not been hampered, some of you instantly get it, some of you don't instantly get it. That's okay. Some are fast learners and some are slow. It doesn't matter. The main thing is that we learn. So Tala is touch, awareness, all, la. And in modern day English, tally means to add it all up. All. You don't leave one thing undone. That's what you use the tally system for, so you don't get all mixed up. You put those marks. So now, when you're reading the Oera book, when you go back to see that word, tau, nomera. Now, nomera is a root, means to name something. Tally is the actual tallying, which is physical, but the number system, you're writing a symbol to give all that has been tallied up a name, and you call it a number. So there you have it, folks. There's a lot more to it. There really is, but this is natural. It tallies up. And another meaning of tally is to add up all the story, to get the story right, to get it all in there, all the truth. To tell all is the truth. God tally, God talla. You use a tally man, a tallymanist, to tally it all up. And if there's a lie, you'll catch it. Yeah. And if you catch someone in a lie, especially among our people, with our fair skin, they'll blush like crazy. First, you got to catch them in that lie, if they're lying. So you tally it all up. That's how you catch that lie. It's a system. It cannot be translated. There is no translation for the word tally or tala. There isn't. There's no substitute for that word. You can explain it, but you cannot literally take another word and substitute for it. You got to leave the T in there. You get it all because it has a specific meaning found in nature. And in the archaic art of primitive association, you take all the action of your tongue and your mouth, your teeth, and your body, and the primitive air, and the water, and the land, and the fire, and you put it all together. That is the original narrative. That is the original thought. And that's how you do it, my friend. And again, I'll say there's a lot more to it, but I hope that will suffice. And I hope that my bubbly personality does not scare people away. I like a bubbly personality. My daddy had a bubbly personality. My mom had a bubbly personality. Since I've been a little boy to now, my favorite teachers are those that just express the joy of learning. I love a teacher that can laugh. Ha! You got it? And another meaning of I forgot to do it is aha! I got it. And everybody on the planet Earth knows what that one means. You don't have to blame that one. You can go anywhere, among any tongue, among any culture. When somebody's trying to explain something to you, and then when you get it, you go, aha, aha. All you got to do is nod your head and go, aha, yeah, I got it. And show your wrinkle right there. When you understand something, you can show the wrinkle. When you don't, you can go like this. But then when you get it, you go, aha, yeah, yeah, see, aha. That's what God gave us his face for, is to express yourself. So anyway, I guess that's enough for this lesson about the tally numeral system given to us by using our brain, by using our thinking and our thought. Let's tally it all up, folks.